do this. Everybody ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, good evening, and welcome to the Thursday, February 8th, 2024 regular meeting of the Walnut Creek Planning Commission. At this time, I'll ask our commission secretary to please call the roll.
Commissioner Reiser,
Here.
Commissioner Nating,
Here.
Commissioner Lesak is absent, Commissioner Pickett,
Here.
Commissioner Anderson,
Here.
Vice Chair Strongman,
Here.
Chair Ward.
Here. Thank you very much. Next on the agenda, we have public communication. The public communication portion of the meeting is reserved for comment on items not on the agenda. This means comments which are not about the RISE modification to their CUP application. Under the Brown Act, the commission cannot act on items raised during public communications, but may respond briefly to statements made or questions posed, request clarification, or refer the item to staff. Additionally, I would like to remind everyone that not all speech is protected and that I will not tolerate or allow hate speech during public comment at any meeting that I chair. Hate has no place in our community, and our words must reflect our community commitment to equality and inclusion for all. At this time, do we have any members of the public who would like to comment? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to our next agenda item, which is public hearings. And
Chair Ward, if I can interject
yeah,
quickly, as
getting
I
there,
had
but-
mentioned. Thank you. So related to item 4A on the agenda, which is up right now, I have a business-related conflict of interest within proximity of the subject site. I've consulted staff and council and confirmed that I'm obligated to recuse myself from this application.
Great, thank you very much for disclosing that, and so we will excuse you at this time. If you could leave the dais, it would be great. All right, while we're waiting for Commissioner Reiser to leave the chambers, we'll start by asking if any other member of the commission has had any ex-parte communications related to items on this evening's agenda. And I'm seeing only no head nod, no's for that, so thank you. All right, so moving on, our first project is the RISE at 1380 North California. It's conversion of 20 hotel rooms to residential rental units, application number Y23-097. The address is 1380 North California, and the APN 178-160-028. So let's start with a staff presentation.
Good evening,
you.
Commissioners. My name is Simmer Gill, Associate Planner with the City. We are here tonight to consider the modification to the previously approved conditional use permit that approved the six-story mixed-use building at 1380 North California Boulevard. And the application number is Y23097. The applicant, Dave Balducci and Mark Loper, I believe Dave Balducci is on his way and Mark Loper is here tonight, as am I, to answer any questions that you may have after this presentation. And just to orient you with the site, the six-story building is located at the corner of Cypress and North California Boulevard. It does include 2 levels of ground floor parking that provides 148 parking stalls. And the surrounding area consists of a mix of retail, office, and restaurant uses. And here is the background. As part of the original conditional use permit that was approved in 2017, the Planning Commission determined the maximum allowable density of 146 dwelling units per acre for the site, with a condition that 20 units operate as hotel rooms. The approval included 9,600 square feet of ground floor retail space and 77 residential units located on the upper floors, as residential uses are not allowed on the ground floor in the pedestrian retail zone. And prior to Planning Commission's approval, the City Council also reviewed and supported the mixed-use project and anticipated the hotel portion of the project, if not feasible, could be converted to residential units. And so tonight, the applicant is proposing or requesting the Planning Commission to consider a modification to the previously approved use permit, modifying condition number 2 to convert the 20 hotel rooms to residential rental studio units, and that will result in 97 residential units on site. No exterior or interior changes are proposed, and no new floor area is proposed, or the density will not be increased beyond what was determined for this site. And here is a quick look at the existing ground floor level floor plan, which does consist of retail space and a separate entrance along Cypress Street that leads to the rental units and hotel rooms through a first floor lobby. And currently, the hotel guests, they do check in at the residential lobby's front desk. When the lobby is unattended, the hotel guests go into the lobby, and there is a kiosk that they can use to verify them electronically. And here is the second floor plan. The 20 hotel rooms are spread across floors 2 through 5, and there are a total of 5 rooms on each floor. Each room is approximately 444 square feet, and they are all street-facing units along North California Boulevard. And again, no interior or exterior changes are proposed or will be required, and all the hotel rooms are already equipped with kitchens. So basically, this project is simply reclassifying the rooms to studio units. So just to go over the reasons for the proposed change is that the leasing for the hotel room and residential units started early last year in 2023. And since then, the hotel portion of the building has seen very low occupancy. The applicant has stated that the hotel has proven to be financially infeasible since it's not renting well. And even during the busier summer months, the maximum occupancy seen was 50% or even lower. And in contrast, 90% of the residential units have been leased, so it is demonstrating a higher demand for residential units at this location. And this project does continue to comply with the city's general plan, the specific plan, the zoning ordinance, and is also vested under the Housing Accountability Act as it was designed to meet the city's objective standards at the time when it was approved, such as floor area ratio, height, and density. And conversion of these units will remain within the maximum density allowed on site, and no expansion is proposed, and the parking on site is also sufficient for the residential uses, as well as the ground floor commercial uses. And this property is also included in the city's housing element site inventory, which did recognize a density of 142 dwelling units per acre. And the housing element also highlights this property as an example of the city facilitating the redevelopment of non-residential sites into higher density housing projects. And finally, the project will also add 20 new units to the city's housing stock, and it is consistent with the goals set in the housing element. Staff does support the request tonight, as the existing mixed-use building will be retained on site, and even with the conversion, it will continue to comply. And with that, staff does recommend that the Planning Commission approve the conditional use permit, subject to the conditions of approval. And that is all I have for my presentation, but I believe the applicant does have a short presentation as well. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much. That was very informative. At this time, does the commission, any commissioner questions? One question, okay, go ahead.
Just a quick one. I didn't see in the approved CUP any criteria for what infeasibility, economically infeasible meant. Was it just, presentation by the owner and?
Correct. It was based on what was presented in the business plan. Staff did ask for actual verification or the occupancy rate data sheets. The applicant was hesitant to share it. However, I did request the applicant to bring that information tonight.
Okay, appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, do we have any other, excuse me, commissioner questions at this time? Okay, so, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll move on to open the public hearing, and at this time, the applicant will have 15 minutes for their presentation.
Excuse me. Good evening, commissioners. I'm not going to use the whole 15 minutes. Thanks. First off, thanks everybody for coming here. I recognize that we're the only regular agenda item, and so I appreciate the commission and staff's time. I also just want to thank Ms. Gill and staff for their hard work on this project. They processed this application quickly and thoroughly, and the staff report and presentation were were very thorough. So I want to make just a few points and then walk through the pictures that I brought and show and talk a little bit about how these units are really ideal to be converted into residential. First, as staff mentioned, your recently certified housing element calls out the conversion of these 20 units to full-time residential as one of the concrete ways that Walnut Creek can meet its RHNA goals. These units are ready to be occupied immediately, meaning new residents can start living in a walkable and transit-friendly part of Walnut Creek without the months or years that it would otherwise take for a project to be constructed. Another way of thinking about this and reframing it is that these 20 new units are basically a standalone project that can be occupied immediately. A little bit about hotels since 2017. We did a little bit of research, and since this project was originally entitled in 2017, one hotel has come online and another one is under construction. Each of these are about a mile or less from the project site. And those two hotels have a combined unit key count of 284. Focusing on the units themselves, they're affordable by design, which means that by virtue of being a little bit smaller than some of the 1 and 2 unit bedrooms, they will rent for lower, which means that more people will have an opportunity to move to this part of Walnut Creek. The project sponsor will also make an approximately $208,000 payment into the city's affordable housing fund. So the project is going to be contributing to Walnut Creek's long-term supply of affordable housing. And you'll see in a moment when we go through the slides that these units were frankly designed to be studios and not hotel rooms. And even after there was a condition put on in 2017 that they be hotel rooms, they were built with the intent that hopefully at some point they could be long-term residential uses instead of hotel rooms. There are washer dryers. There's a full kitchen with a stovetop oven, a dishwasher, and a fridge. There's ample closet space and nice bathrooms with good furnishings. So can I use this? Okay. This is a building. I think we had nearly identical pictures in staff's presentation. And the stack of windows starting at the second floor, the 5 windows going from the second up to the 5th floor, those are the studio units or the hotel units. This is a view of the unit with backed up to the window. You can see that there's plenty of room for a bed and a living area. This is the opposite view. You can see really nice generous window which gets good light. This is the desk and kind of media area. You can tell that it's large enough to accommodate a computer, pretty big TV, books, all that kind of fun stuff. This is a view of the kitchen area. You can see there's a sink, the oven, and the stovetop. I believe one of those drawers on the bottom pulls out, and that's where the washer dryer is. You can see plenty of cabinet space above as well. This is the fridge. It's big. I would like a fridge this big in my house. A washer dryer, stacked washer dryer, which allows for more compact use, but obviously that's not something that one normally sees in a hotel room. And I don't have a photo of this, but to the right of this picture is the closet. And finally, this is the bath. It's a shower, but they're very nice furnishings, and again, they were built with the intent that somebody would be a long-term renter here. So that's it for our presentation. We're here and available to answer any questions. And again, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much. Did you say there was a dishwasher in the unit or just the washer dryer?
Dishwasher. Yes, there is a dishwasher.
All right.
It's just it's so fancy
Cabinet
that it
covering
yeah.
doors.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. All right, so now are there any questions from commissioners for the applicant? Commissioner Pickett, come on back.
Just a couple. Can you tell us what the square footage of these units are?
Pardon me. They're about 450, a little under. They're 444 square feet each, which in my experience is actually pretty big for studio units.
Okay, how big is a closet? I mean, it isn't in your pictures, you said that, but it looks like really small.
Is there a way to pull up the floor plan? This is Dave Balducci with the ownership team. He can answer that question.
Sure. As Mark mentioned, all the these were designed as studio apartments before they became hotel units. Through the city council process, they were negotiated to become hotel units. But these units also meet the storage requirements for regular apartments with, I think Chip was reminding me, the 4x8 offsite storage. So the whole project has storage for 97 units in the project.
Okay, it has the storage units that they're needed somewhere else in the building.
Correct. They're in the hallways.
And then
and
the small,
in the garage.
I mean, if you have coats and shirts, there isn't a lot of room for them.
We've had no complaints. These are designed to be studio apartments.
Okay. Have you had any long-term renters in there?
Well, we're maxed out to 30 days.
30 days.
Yeah.
As long as you're here, and since you were the original,
Sure.
you're gonna have to, I was here when this was approved, so, yeah, but I forget. Give us a little background on how these ended up being hotel units. You mentioned something about city council.
Yeah. Yep.
persuasion.
Sure. So, yeah, this will have to be the abbreviated version, and I don't remember the exact number of hearings. The city staff first referred this project to city council to see if it was compliant with the specific plan and the general plan and whether or not it needed an amendment. City council ultimately determined that it did not need any amendments to go through. In that process, and I think there was 3 hearings, it was proposed that we could try these as hotel units, and we agreed conditionally so long as they were successful, and we had determined success as 75% occupancy, and the first staff report granted the authority to remove them to the planning department. But at this hearing, in the final hearing, it was passed that they were just hotel units, and if you wanted to change them, come back here and talk to you all. So, and I would add, they've never been at 75% or above.
Yeah, and just looking at the plan, I didn't see any other studios, so these would be the only studios in the building, and otherwise you have 1 and 2 bedrooms. So now you have a mix of studios, 1 and 2s.
So we designed the project this way, given the geometry and the layout, that this is where the studios best fit. And then after, the project didn't change. It was just the use of these changed.
And you are paying a fee, affordable housing to the,
Yeah, we're paying, it's 208,000 and some change. It's based on, I think, $23 or $24 a square foot, and there's close to 9,000 square feet.
great. Thank you, that's all my questions.
Thanks.
Okay, do we have any other commissioner questions? No? Okay. All right, so at this time, let's see if any member of the public wishes to provide public comment regarding this item at this time. I don't see anybody here in the chamber. So there's nothing to respond to for the applicant. That's fine. So I'm going to close the public hearing at this time. And let's bring it back to the commission. Got a lot of side chatter going on here, guys. Bring it back to the commission for comments, questions, or deliberation. Nothing. Maybe I'll ask the city attorney, how concerned are we about not making the specific finding with regard to the low occupancy rate and the reason for the conversion? Should that be in the resolution, or is it okay as it is?
So the findings for this item relate, so the municipal code lays out the findings for a proposed change for the CUP, and so the resolution does, include the facts that as staff recommended that we believe the commission can use those to make the findings. The commission can supplement that with the, an understanding of the occupancy rate, but as it is prepared, we believe there is sufficient findings for making it the findings required for the proposed change.
Great. All right. Thanks for confirming that. I appreciate it. All right. So seeing no comments, questions, or deliberation, at this time I would entertain a motion with regard to the proposed resolution.
I'll move the resolution as presented.
Second.
Oh, okay. That was exciting.
in.
Okay.
Pick
All
one.
right. Are we going to have a duel here? Or, all right. I pick Vice Chair Strongman as the winning seconder of that motion. All right. So we have a motion and a second. 2 seconds. So can we please record the vote?
Commissioner Reiser's recused. Commissioner Nating?
Yes.
Commissioner Lezak is absent. Commissioner Pickett?
Yes.
Commissioner Anderson?
Yes.
Vice Chair Strongman?
Yes.
Chair Ward?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much to the applicants and staff for your excellent presentation. We appreciate it. All right, so this time I'm going to move along to agenda item number 5, which is commission considerations. Do we have anything to consider other than in this category? I believe not, right? No? All right, do we have any commission member and staff reports or announcements?
No staff reports no reports by staff. But
Okay,
I have a comment.
all right, go ahead.
I have one more meeting here, and I have been serving, I've mentioned this before, but I have been serving on Transpac for 15 years or something, and I'll be gone. And so somebody is going to need to step up
Okay,
to be the, and I don't even know what the process is. I was at my last Transpac meeting this morning. Kevin Wilk was there, and I'm not sure if the city council appoints it. I think when I got appointed, I just said I'd do it, and everyone said okay, and I did it. So I don't know if there's a formal process for it, but just alerting people that is a
All right.
vacancy in this behalf of City of Walnut Creek and Transpac.
so can you look into the process if we're supposed to appoint one of our own to that, or if the city council's going to take care of that upcoming vacancy, or just tell us what to do?
I'll look into that. Thank you.
Thank you, I appreciate that. All right, any other announcements? All right, with that, it is 6:22, and we're going to adjourn the meeting. Thank you very much, everybody. Much appreciated.
Thank you.